Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Facebook video. Today I'm talking with Susan Coale, who is the director of the Chesapeake Life Center, and we are talking about Grief Camp 2020 and what it's going to look like this year with COVID-19 happening and how it's still going to be going on. So Susan, thanks so much for coming and chatting with me about it.
I'm happy to.
So let's start. So Grief Camp for kids and for teens has gone on through the Chesapeake Life Center for a really long time. This year for children, it's going to look different because of COVID-19. So can you talk to me a little bit about what the change is going to be, how it's still happening?
Absolutely going to be very different. And in fact, we've given it a different kind of a name this year. In part, I think, influenced by COVID-19, but one of the things that we talk about when we do grief education is that sometimes grief just sort of takes us by surprise. And we have, this sort of sudden upsurge of grief, and it's like a grief burst, like a cloud burst. And so that's what we're calling camp, is Grief Burst 2020, because not only is there that just about the grief that these children are feeling due to the loss of their loved ones, but they've had so many other losses with COVID-19. The loss of being able to see their school friends, the schedule being at school, just everything has changed. So Grief Burst seemed like a really appropriate kind of title, and also an effort to sort of, from the very beginning, express the idea that there's some dynamism to this, and there might even be some fun to it. That yes, grief is hard work, but being together with other people and sharing it can lift some of that and can certainly be fun.
So besides the name change, the biggest change is it's going to be virtual, right?
Virtual.
For the children, for the children's camp, it's going to be online virtual. So let's talk about that. What's that going to look like? How are you guys doing that this year?
So we've thought really long and hard about screen time, how much time both children and adults are spending on computers.
Yeah.
Whereas camp has been, hours and hours, last year, long days. That really isn't going to work, particularly for the youngest children. So we're breaking it up. We're doing everything the week of August 10th.
Okay.
And breaking it up by age groups, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 13. And they overlap on purpose because the maturity level of kids can vary. And so sometimes it's appropriate to go down a little, sometimes up a little. So that's why it's divided that way. And then each group will be meeting at different times. So one of them will meet Monday and Wednesday morning, another group Tuesday and Thursday morning, and another group Monday and Wednesday afternoons. Okay. And there'll only be an hour to an hour and a half for each session. Because if you think about it, even for an adult, an hour and a half on Zoom is a long time.
Right. Yeah, that's it's intense.
Yeah, really is. We are going to try to hold on to some of the traditional camp things. Kids will have a t-shirt, camp t-shirt. There will be movement, and there will be some crafty kind of materials. And it's hoped that even in seeing the other children on the screen, that there's at least that sense of, oh, there's somebody else out there whose mom died or whose sister died. So that hopefully will decrease a little bit of that sense of isolation.
Right. So all of this information, the details that you were giving about the dates and the times and the ages, we're going to have that in our comment section on our Facebook page. In addition to all the camps are listed as events on the Hospice of the Chesapeake's Facebook page. So we don't have to get into too much detail for that. I just wanted to make that part clear. Okay, I'm a parent. Let's pretend I'm a parent of a child who has had a loss in their life. Who might be appropriate to come to the camp? Would any type of loss, specific loss? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Pretty broad. Oftentimes we'll talk about the special person. So, it's not kids whose, great grandmother that they only ever saw once a year dies, probably are not experienced the same amount of emotional upheaval as a child whose caregiver, whether it's a parent or grandparent, has died, or an uncle or aunt or good friend. So it's basically, it's a death loss of someone with whom the child was close.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And would this person, this child, would they have to have gone through counseling or any programs before, or could this be a brand new? Okay.
Have to be affiliated with us in any other way. They don't have to have a counselor. It's really important for families and kids to understand that grief is normal.
Right.
It's expectable. It's a natural reaction to a loss. This is not a fix grief and it goes away. This is a way to learn tools to grow and heal and cope with this time of change.
So that might be a really good opportunity for a parent or a caregiver to have their child in a very easy experience like this. Okay. There is a minimal fee, correct?
Yep.
Okay. $10? Is that okay? And
yes.
If that is too much and someone still wants to attend, scholarships are available.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yes. So
go ahead.
Did you want me to talk about what that fee will cover?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Every child, as I mentioned, will get a t-shirt, and basically we're going to put together a camp box for every child who participates that will have the t-shirt, will have all of the craft materials that they will need for any project, complete with instructions if they happen to miss something, just a little bit of the camp stuff.
Okay.
We'll arrange to get that box to each family prior to camp.
And so just a parent or a caregiver would just need to either call or email, and we can include that information in our comment section as well. But that's all they would need to do to get more information or to register.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excellent. Now, I want to move a little bit to the teens, because you're still having camp for teens this year as in other years, but it's a little different as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The teen camp is being held at Terrapin Adventures in Savage, Maryland.
Okay.
Terrapin Adventures has reopened under strict health, sanitation, cleaning, hygienic.
The CDC guidelines, I'm guessing, yep.
It will severely limit the number of teens who are able to participate, and will probably shorten the length of time. It will probably not be quite as long a day.
Okay.
But they are doing, mask social distancing and still able to do. Terrapin Adventures is sort of an outdoor activity, outdoor adventure, ropes coursey kind of a place.
And what's the age range for the teen camp?
That's 13 to 18.
Okay. All right. And you said, so it will be a smaller amount of people able to participate. Okay. And the same sort of thing, same number and email registration. Okay. There's a little bit different fee for that one, correct?
That one is $40. Those kids also will get a t-shirt and a little bit of camp bling. And then that includes, we take care of the fee then for Terrapin Adventures.
Got it. Okay. All right. Excellent. So, I think we covered, well, with the teen, let me go back to the teen a minute. You talked a little bit about, for the children, how it's helpful to see others that have gone through that experience. I'm guessing with the teen, that's really important as well.
It's also very important because, teens, while on the one hand they talk about wanting to be their own person, they also really take their cue from others around them, and they don't want to stick out and be the only one who's had this experience. So that's very important. The other thing that teens can do, they process things differently than the younger children do. So in the activities that are done at Terrapin Adventures, they're great metaphors for our grief process, and teens can really think about that and apply that and, sort of tease them out of the activities. Oh, this is like grief because,
right.
Grief is heavy too, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's part of the beauty of that one. They too are learning ways to cope and grow. Just they learn a little differently than the younger children.
And it's experiential, so that they'll be able to kind of go through it and then carry it with them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So two making the best of, this COVID-19 situation is been a challenge for everyone, but it's great that there are some options, especially, for children and for teens that are grieving and experiencing a loss.
Yeah. I'd like to make one more comment about the kids.
Sure.
And that is that if you are parent or caregiver for a child that for the age that we're doing the virtual camp, but there's a problem with, technologically, that perhaps you don't have a computer available during the day, please reach out to us anyway. I think there are ways that we can get that technology loaned to you to use. So please don't discount it. If you think it would be helpful, don't discount it because of that. Please reach out and we'll work with you and try to make that happen.
That's great. That's awesome. So camp, August, we'll put the dates and the times and the ages and all the details in our comment section, the way to register. And again, it is on our Facebook page for Hospice of the Chesapeake. So Susan, thank you so much for taking time to fill me in about how camp is looking this year. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tammy.
I also want to make sure to thank the John and Kathy Belcher Institute for your generous support of the community education programs here at Hospice of the Chesapeake. And thanks you guys for watching.